Welcome back to my channel, everyone. If you're visiting for the first time, my name is Sheridan and I am a first grade teacher in South Carolina, and it is almost the end of my second year, which is so crazy to think about, but it's gone by so fast. But I'm excited to share with you today the Introverted Teacher Tag. It was started by one happy teacher, Janice, and she and a few other teachers participated in this teacher tag, and she graciously allowed me to jump in a month and a half later. But you know, life happens and I couldn't do it right away. But I am excited to be a part of this, so if you're interested, keep watching. So let's get into these questions. So before I say that, I already told you that this is a teacher tag done by, or put together by, Janice from One Happy Teacher, and she is just the sweetest, most caring, kind, generous, loving person. I know she was my teacher Galentine back in February, and I know I said lots of beautiful things about her, and all of that still holds true to me, but she allowed me to be a part of this a month and a half after the initial videos were done and uploaded. So I don't know if it's even relevant right now, but I am still going to take part in it because it is something that I wanted to do, and I'm excited to answer some of the questions that are part of this teacher tag. So I'm going to get into them. So question number one, and I will link all of the questions down below in case you want to take part in this too. So question number one, do people call you antisocial all the time? I don't think they do, at least not to my face. Now, I know I've been called antisocial before. This was way back before college, possibly high school, maybe middle school. I've just always been really quiet. I wouldn't call myself a loner because I did have a group of friends that I hung out with, but I wasn't, I guess, the leader of that group. And then whenever I wasn't with them, I guess I was to myself, but I didn't really see a problem with that. So I don't know, I've never been called antisocial to my face by people outside of my family, I guess I'll say. All right, question number two. Do they try, I'm guessing the people that were talked about in the first question, do they try to convince you to be more outgoing? I guess, I don't know. I think maybe they did. Maybe they thought it was different that I wasn't as outgoing. I definitely do think, and it's hard to remember because I feel like I was considered more of an introvert, or called an introvert, more in my middle and high school years. But I guess I feel like I did at some point get told or convinced to be more outgoing and do more. And back then I wish that I did do more. I wish that I wasn't so introverted. I wish that I was more outgoing, but I never really knew how to put myself out there. So I just kind of didn't. And that's kind of always been a small regret of mine. But yeah, I definitely think that people in my friend group, or people around me, my peers, I'll say, tried to convince me to be more outgoing. Question number three, do people ask if you're depressed or okay? I've never been asked if I was depressed, but I have been asked if I was okay. To me, those are two different things. I don't know, I think a lot of people think that if you're by yourself, or at least at the time I thought that people thought that if you were by yourself, something was wrong. Not necessarily with you, but maybe something was wrong in your life. You were sad, you didn't feel like talking, and I think maybe that's why people thought to ask me that. But I've never been asked if I was depressed. But just because you're alone does not mean you're lonely, and maybe you just need that time to yourself. Okay, question number four. Do people ask you what you're thinking about? Yes, definitely people have asked me what I was thinking about. I haven't been asked lately what I was thinking about, but a lot of times when you're alone, I guess you're in deep thought about something, and a lot of times I do think about a lot of stuff. I think about what I have to do tomorrow, what I have to do next week. I think about years down the line, the future. I'm always very much in thought about something coming up or something like that. Question number 5. Do you have to take breaks to recharge? Oh, most definitely, and I still do to this day. I don't know if I'm sure you guys have heard that, you know, sometimes people need time after being around a lot of people. They need to just kind of decompress and just have their alone time, and I'm definitely one of those people. I think that especially with teaching, you're around children all day, or at least in my situation, you're around 21, 6 and 7 year olds who just need so much from you. They depend so much on you. You want to be alone for a little bit whenever you have your planning time, or when you are going home after school. You want your time alone to yourself before you have to go and do your other stuff, if you have families that depend on you too. But I definitely need a quick break to recharge. Question number 6. Do you have to take breaks to recharge after spending time with someone? I probably already answered that, but yes, I definitely do. Again, you just need that time to yourself to reflect and to I guess, re-energize so that you are good to go for whatever you have to do coming up. Question number 7. Ooh, this question right here I'm guilty of. Do you purposely ignore a call if you don't know who is calling because you'd rather not talk to a stranger? 1,000 times yes. I have ignored calls on my phone, and I feel like even if you're not an introvert, you probably do this. If you don't know the number on your phone, you probably ignore it unless they're leaving a message or something. If it's a strange number, I normally just hit ignore, or I let it ring, and if they don't leave a message, I don't call back. But a lot of times I will ignore if I don't know who it is. Question number 8. Do you cringe when your hairdresser, manicurist, or strangers try to make small talk? Kinda, sort of. Now, I haven't gotten my hair professionally done in a long time, but definitely nails and even strangers in general. I wouldn't necessarily say cringe, but it is a little awkward at first making small talk with people I don't know, and they're just trying to be nice, and I totally get that, but it's like, well, what do I say back? I'm never the one that starts the small talk. I'll say hey and how are you doing, and maybe a little bit after that, but it's like, okay, I don't know what else to say, and it's like I want to answer them back, and if I'm the last person to say something, okay, am I supposed to keep the conversation going, or is it them that's supposed to keep the conversation going? I don't know. I feel like I overcomplicate it, but I don't know. I definitely am just like, what if I'm gonna be awkward or something like that? But it does make me a little bit on edge when small talk happens. Question number 9. Do you stare at the ground so you can pretend you don't see someone approaching? Yes, I've done this. I don't know. I used to be really bad with this. At school, and then like I guess at the store, wherever I was, I knew someone was coming, but I don't know. I was really bad with eye contact, and to me that's not the best thing. And I mean, like, maybe you might think of this differently, but you know, I think it's important to acknowledge people, but sometimes it's hard just because you don't know. I don't know why I was like that, but I don't know, it's hard. I can't really explain why I didn't really make eye contact with people, but I would stare at the ground to avoid talking to them, and I don't know, I feel like I was rude for doing that, but I wasn't trying to be rude. I just am not someone who talks to people first. I don't know. It's that one's hard to explain why I did that. But yes, that was me. I've gotten a lot better with that just because, you know, I think it's time for me to kind of start putting myself out there a little more, or at least at the time when I discovered that I was kind of looking down when people would approach. After a while, I was just like, you know, I need to start just making eye contact. That's just good manners. I don't know. But yes, I still struggle with that a little bit, but I'm getting better. Number 10. Do you spend most of your time at a party slowly nursing your drink and or eating snacks? Okay, I don't party. The last party I went to was for choir. It was a Christmas party and I was around people that I knew, so it was okay. When it's my friend or friends, and then, or some of my friends I'll say, and then like the rest of the parties, people I don't know, I'm probably not gonna go at all, so I don't have to worry about just standing against a wall or standing off to myself somewhere where my friends go socialize, because if there's people, mostly people there that I don't know, I'm probably not going to go. I'm the friend who, for, I guess, certain events, I will ask my friends if they're going. If they're not going, I'm not going. So I don't really, I guess that's probably why I don't really get out and go to big events and things like that. And then number 11 is kind of a continuation of number 10, or sitting on the couch by yourself. Like I said, if my friends or people that I'm comfortable talking to aren't going, then I'm not going. So I guess that brings me to question number 12. Do people mistake your thinking face for a resting mean face? Yes, it has been mistaken for that. People would ask, and I know there's a meme out there about when people see your face, they ask you why you look so mean, and it's like, no, I'm not mean, that's just my face. If I'm in deep thought, I guess that's just a face I make. But yes, I have been asked why I'm mean, and guys, I'm not a mean person at all. I don't know, it's just, that's my thinking face. I can't help that, that's my thinking face. Number 13. Do you not participate in events that would involve icebreakers, or how do you feel about the icebreakers? That's hard, just because if you're ever going to like a class for the first time, or to an event for the first time, or some first time something, there are going to be icebreakers involved and you can't get away from them. I can't just skip class just because I don't like icebreakers. But man, do they used to get on my nerves so much, because whenever it would be your turn to introduce yourself or say who you are, talk about a hobby, and I don't know, something else. There's normally your name, your hobby, and something else, a third thing that you have to share, and I would be the one who couldn't think of anything, and that's probably why I never really cared for them that much, just because I personally didn't feel like I had as exciting of a life as everybody else. I really didn't get out much in life that much. I guess I'm talking about in college when they would do icebreakers. Everyone would be like, oh, I travel different countries for a living, or I go skydiving as a hobby, or something exciting like that. And I would just be like, I'm Sheridan. I laid on the couch this summer and took lots of naps, and I may have picked up my guitar and tried to practice it, but that's about all I did. And I would just feel so boring, and I think that's probably why I didn't really care about icebreakers. But on the other side of that, that is what we do the first day of school when we teach. We do icebreakers and things like that. I guess it just depends on the kinds of questions that we ask. And I don't know, it's different, but yeah, I was definitely that person who hated icebreakers. But the kids I teach, I know that these past 2 years, they love getting to talk about themselves and meeting their classmates for the first time, or catching up with the ones they had in the class that were in their class the year before. They like those things, so as long as they like them, that's good. But me, I was not a fan of icebreakers in school. Okay, number 14. Do you dislike job descriptions that use the term team player? This is an interesting question. I've never really thought about disliking it. I always thought that being a team player would help you get the job. I know when I think of being a team player, I always think of group work that I had to do in school, and how I would always be the one who had to do all the writing. But it was good because that meant I didn't have to present, because speaking in front of people always stressed me out and made me so nervous, and I hate it. To this day, I still hate it, which is weird because I'm speaking to you guys in front of a camera right now, but speaking to a big audience always like freaked me out. So But being a team player is good because it helps you get your job done faster. But I never really thought about disliking being a team player. I currently don't dislike it. I think being a team player is important. I guess when you think about it, you know, you need to be the type of person who can get along with anyone and who can work as a team. And I think that the team that I work with at school, we work together very well. So I think we are all team players. So I really don't find, I don't think being a team player bothers me. Okay, number 15 is introducing yourself fear-inducing. I guess I kind of answered that in one of the previous questions, the one about being icebreakers. It used to be just because I would always be nervous. What if I stutter? What if I call myself the wrong name? I don't know. That's never happened, but you know, you never know what can come out of your mouth. It used to make me nervous, but once you do it, it's good, because then, you know, you've introduced yourself and people know your name now. But it used to make me really, really nervous. All right, number 16. Do you like using the internet because you can show your personality without having to deal with people? I think the internet is a really good way to, I guess, share my thoughts, share my ideas on a platform where I normally wouldn't get to. I know a lot of times when I have a lot to say, but people have already said it, or people have already like shared that idea. Then I'm just kind of sitting there. I feel like sometimes I'm sitting there taking up space by not sharing anything or giving any input. I know a lot of times whenever I'm in meetings and, you know, we're talking about something and we're all agreeing, and then one person in your group would agree, and then they would say something, and then another person would agree with that, and then they would elaborate more, and then it would come to me and I would be the last person, and everyone will be like, Sheridan, what you got to say about that? And I'm just like, no, I agree. That's all? Yeah, I mean, everything y'all said is basically how I feel. And I would always feel like that I'm not contributing to the discussion, and that always bothered me, because it's not that I am just there taking up space and don't care. It's just I agree. I mean, there's really nothing more to say that's already been said. So yeah, it's nice to have this to be able to share what I wanted to say. So yeah, I really enjoy YouTube and social media in the way that I get to share ideas and share how I feel about things and start conversations and really have open discussions about things in the education world. I really enjoy this community. All right, question number 17. Is canceling plans your favorite thing to do? No. Now there's two sides to that. If someone is canceling plans with me, so let's just say that, you know, I already have plans set up with someone, but I'm like, I'm really tired, or I have this assignment, or I have something that I really need to be doing, and going out is just going to really stress me out. And hey, sometimes we have those feelings, but someone cancels plans, I'm secretly like, thank goodness, because I really need to be doing this now, or I really just want to rest and not leave the house today. But then on the other side of that, if there were plans that I had made with a friend and they cancel, I can be really bummed that I can't go with them just because they had something else they had to do. And I'm very understanding of, you know, things coming up, but it's like, man, I haven't seen them in a long time and now they've canceled. So it just kind of sucks sometimes. Now, if I'm the one who has to cancel plans, and I normally don't make plans because, like I said, probably in another clip, maybe I didn't. I'm very much a homebody. But if I'm the one that has to cancel plans, it's probably just because I had an emergency. If I make plans with somebody, whether I'm tired or not, I try to carry them through. I try to follow through and be respectful of people's time. So if I cancel plans, it's normally just because I just couldn't do it, or I just had something come up and I just can't do it that day. But I'm always try to reschedule if I have to cancel, just because I do consider that person's time and their feelings, and I just want to make sure that, you know, that we still get that time together. But yeah, I normally am not the one canceling plans, because I don't make a lot of plans. So yeah. But no, it's not my favorite thing to do, just because it can be a little awkward. To me, it just always seems a little awkward when I have to text somebody last minute and be like, hey, I'm so sorry, but I can't go today, or something came up, can we reschedule? And like I said, I do reschedule, but I don't know, I just feel like I'm inconveniencing that person when they set aside time in their schedule to spend time with me, and I'm the one who had to kind of change everybody's schedule, and I feel bad about that. So no, canceling plans is not my favorite thing to do. All right, last question. Question number 18. Does everyone try to fight you to be more social, but you're happy the way you are? No one tries to fight me to be more social, at least I don't, well, okay, not fight me. No one tries to make me be more social, I don't think. I think everyone is very accepting of who I am, which I truly appreciate. No one ever, I guess, pushes me to the point where I am uncomfortable in a situation, and I do appreciate that. I would never do that to another person. A lot of the people that I hang out with are extroverts and are very social. But it's a good mix. Like, I feel like whenever I'm hanging out with someone, there are a group of people, there's introverts and extroverts mixed in, but we all fit together very well. But if I'm, like, I guess the only introvert, I'm not really sure how to answer this question, but if I'm the only introvert, no one ever pushes me to be more social. I think everyone is very accepting of who I am, and I'm never really around people that I don't feel comfortable talking to. So I never really find myself in a situation where I am being pushed to be more social. But like I said, I think a lot of people are very accepting of who I am, and if you're not, well, that's your problem. But anyway, I think we're at a point in our lives where we are who we are, and we just need to accept people for who they are and stop trying to make them into who we think they should be. That's so silly, and there's no individuality there. So yeah, no one ever makes me feel like I need to be more social. But I will say, coming up, I used to be so offended by the term introvert and by being told that I was too quiet and that I needed to contribute more to discussions. That used to offend me so much because I took that as a criticism. I thought that people saw that as a flaw in me, that I wasn't social enough, and I used to hate that about myself, that I wasn't social enough, or that I didn't talk enough, or I didn't put myself out there enough. And I always wondered how I was going to get by in life not having that gift for gab, or not being social enough. But today I'm like, wow, I mean, like, nothing has changed. I mean, I do express myself more, and I do at work and, you know, amongst my friends, I do talk to them more. I'm always around people that I'm comfortable talking to, and sometimes, like, I found myself, you know, putting myself out there more to people I don't normally talk to. And, you know, everyone has a point where they're just developing and that they're growing. I mean, you're not going to get it all at once. It's a process. But I am experiencing a lot of growth in my social life, and I still am very much an introvert, but I do put myself out there a little more, and I mean, I'm happy with where I am. So call me an introvert. That's what I am. Well, we have come to the end of this video, and I would again love to thank my lovely friend Janice for letting me be a part of this a month and a half later, because this teacher is on the struggle bus. But I thank you for watching, and again, thank you, Janice, for letting me be a part of this tag. And I encourage you to watch the other teachers' videos about being an introverted teacher and see what they have to say. I will say before I go that I think it's a good thing to be an introverted teacher, just because I know a lot of our students have such big personalities, and they're extroverts a lot of times. I don't have a lot of introverted students, but it's a good thing to teach them how to just ring it in and teach them the power of reflection and just embracing the quiet moments. And so that's really good for our students. But I would encourage you to watch their videos as well. So this is the end of the video. Don't forget to like and comment on this video. Maybe you have some experience or insight into being an introverted teacher yourself. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye!